We go live to the CBOE and our own Kevin Hincks for our pre-bell playbook. Good morning to you. Some of your thoughts. I know we had a mixed bag yesterday for stocks. Today we have somewhat of a mixed bag too. A little bit of a wait and see on the Fed. What are you thinking this morning, Kevin?
Good morning, Nicole. Markets are jittery ahead of this Fed decision. If you look, the VIX closed last week at 1528. It's now 1743. So we've had almost over a 2-point move in the VIX the first couple days of this week. The 10-year yield creeping now up to 4.2%. These markets are starting to build in the case that Jerome Powell is going to do a hawkish cut. I think that's what is building into some of the risk-off assets. Now, if he doesn't do that, you could see a big 180-degree turn in some of these metrics. But right now, they're just not sure they're representing the uncertainty around Jerome Powell's press conference because, frankly, he did a hawkish cut last time. Let's see if he does a hawkish cut this time, or does he start to talk about things like inflation is coming down and he's more worried about the labor market. If he does, then this could all reverse. And all these fears that built in Monday, Tuesday, and so far this morning could turn, do a 180 on that. So that's what we're watching about. There's a lot of uncertainty and worries about Jerome Powell's press conference, the SEP, dissenters. Pick your topic, Nicole. And I think the markets are just a bit jittery going into this Fed decision.
We'll still talk about who will be the next Fed chair. Of course, this morning, President Trump puts it out there. I love how his timing is impeccable. Hassett still seems like the likely Fed chair. I know interviews with Kevin Warsher are today as well, or now. So, there are still people who, think there are good ideas and bad ideas here. What are your thoughts?
I think it's one of the Kevins are the front runners for this. Kevin Hassett seems to be the front runner, but Kevin Warsher's name keeps coming up. And remember, this is someone that was on the Fed board from 2006 to 2011, and he has interesting, innovative views on interest rate. And he thinks, and here's his quote from an article he put out in November in the Wall Street Journal, inflation is a choice, and the Fed has made bad choices up until now. And he thinks AI is going to be deflationary because it's going to up production and up overall level of people's living. So he's got some really innovative views. So don't rule out Kevin Warsh as a long shot because of how just a new look on where he thinks the Fed and interest rates should be going, Nicole. So yeah, it looks like, a week ago, it looked like Kevin Hassett. Now President Trump's talking about more interviews leading with Kevin Warsh. I think it's one of the Kevins, Nicole, to put it lightly.
All right. And after the bell, we'll have Adobe, Oracle, Synopsys tomorrow, Broadcom, Costco, Lulu, and also Restoration, RH. And last but not least, early this morning, we've got the mortgage apps. What's the latest there?
Yeah, some data out this morning. Mortgage applications. The composite jumped 4.8%. That was because of purchases that were down 2.4%. Why is that? Well, the 30-year mortgage actually ticked up from 6.32 to 6.8%. So, but refinances jumped 14.3%. Why is that? FHA mortgage rates dropped to 6.08%. So that caused a flow of refinances. And what does it tell us? That these mortgage markets are defined by applications are very sensitive to interest rates, Nicole. So if you want the housing market to get better, absolutely, you should have lower interest rates.
Yeah, unbelievable. All right. And we'll see what kind of cut we get. Is it going to be the hawkish cut, the one, and then the pause? And plenty of people are on board with that. They don't know what to expect. So we'll have that details. All the details this afternoon here on Schwab Network. Thank you. Kevin Hincks live at the CBOE.